I am a wayfarer on the waking way, just like you. Years ago, in a time of despair, I was given cause to consider my small place in the whole of creation. The old questions that have perplexed us for ages were haunting me as well. Why are we here? Must there be a reason for our existence? How do we balm our sufferings, enlighten our minds, and awaken our hearts? Are there powers, energies, and realities just beyond our ability to comprehend them? Like a new day rising, a fervor to understand these things illuminated my inner east. The discoveries along the way have been manifold, malleable, and colorful. Like a kaleidoscope, the teachings and practices I have gathered continue to shift and bend, imprinting on the textures of daily life just as it is. My ministry arrives in the form of sharing this extremely personal, varied, sacred, ordinary way with you. Let us traverse this landscape together as siblings. I pray you will join me for a time. I am your brother Oran, and this is my witness to the wisdom cry of the dawn Deacon. Good morning, my dear friends. It's been a little while since I did a reflection. If I'm being truthful, it's because I kind of been in a little bit of a slump. Not so much that I don't know the wave will crest again. But sometimes that's the way life is. We ride this wave. I know this, and I hope you know it too. Everything changes. We go down, we go up. We have good days, we have bad days. And the labels really don't do them any justice. But tomorrow's Easter, 2021, and I'm standing at one of my favorite parks in one of my favorite spots. If you're friends with me or connected to me through social platforms, then you've probably seen pictures of this spot. There's a tree I like to call Shiva off to the south. There's a bare tree in front of me on the other side of some barbed wire fence. Beautiful spring flowers all along the edge of the fence with bright orange ryegrass on the other side. I came out here before sunrise, and do you hear what I hear? Do you hear the world coming to life? So much birdsong this morning. Roosters crowing in the distance. There's some cloud cover and the sun was bright pink. I wasn't gonna do a reflection, but I prayed and a question popped into my mind. Where are you standing? How often is a question the beginning of finding wisdom? Yesterday, my wife and I excavated an old shop behind our home where we had a lot of things stored, and I came across old journals and letters that I'd written around the time period of my awakening experience over 25 years ago. And I've spent a little time revisiting some of those entries, realizing how much I've changed,
and how much I'm the same. So often I talk about identity and what it means, all these collected elements that have convalesced around us, and how that makes us who we are, but what lies beyond that. And in looking back at those journal entries, I was asking the same question then that I ask now. Who are you? Who am I? And this morning I feel like resting in that I, especially after having read all those journal entries from so long ago. I didn't have the gift of foresight to see what was ahead of me when I made those entries. But standing here this morning and looking back on myself, a young man trying to find his way, I feel comforted by him, knowing that 2.5 decades later, everything that I was writing has been proved to be true. I learned so much more, but everything that was revealed at that time, or was unlocked, or that I was trying to understand, it's all played out. That's an interesting thing. Each one of the entries, as I read them, I could remember where I was standing. It was really a fascinating thing. And here I stand this morning in this spot, this space that's special to me. It's a place that many people occupy, a multi-purpose area. It's a temple to me. As I look through the trees, I can see the first glimmer of that bright orange sun. This particular angle, this particular alignment, all of these things that make up the choir, the deacons, the ushers, the celebrant. And today, instead of journaling, I'm talking to you. I often come by this spot and think about how it changes when you walk by a place. Often enough, you get to see it through the seasons. You get to see it in good weather and bad weather. Clear blue days, cloudy skies, in the cold and the heat. You get to see it through storms. And you get to see it through times of peace and growth. The fence posts get a little older, but they remained. The barbed wire gets a little rustier, but it remains. The tree that a few months ago I stood by and looked at the dewdrops hanging on its bare branches is now unfolding with green buds and leaves. Muddy ruts in the ground from construction vehicles removing broken limbs from the 2 terrible storms are now filled with grass and flowers. The tree that used to be a refuge for my family and give us peace and communion with each other during the pandemic, a place to retreat, damaged by the storms, missing a branch, is growing, different but still remaining. The roots are strong, they're still there, holding everything together. Where are you standing right now? What do you see as you listen to this? Who are you today? I don't know if there's any more profound question. Who am I? Who are you? What do you see? What's going on in your life? Soon I'll leave this space and go home, and my sleeping family will wake up. And what will I see then? Where will I stand? I bring myself with me everywhere I go. The history of everything that I am and everything that I've learned and everything that I've done. And I point it in a direction just like you. I used to worry that who I was and what I was pointing at people was not good for them or was not good enough, that there was some missing piece. In revisiting and excavating, doing that personal archeology yesterday, I realized that I left treasures for myself, and I was given a great gift all that time ago. I was shown the best part of myself, the beautiful parts, a vision of who I wanted to be, of my place in the world, of how I could touch lives and do my small part, whatever it may be. I seemed to understand that back then, and yet I've given myself rope burn for so many years, feeling like there's never enough. I could never do enough to touch the aching world. I found that by touching the ache within myself, by touching that sore spot within myself. I feel as though it unlocked a type of love that is so far beyond anything I could ever really put words to. And God, I tried so hard as a young man to do that. And so many have tried so hard and for so long to do that, all across the ages. The word that's often used is mystic. And for someone who hasn't felt that love or used that word, that may seem hokey even, or inapplicable in this world that we live in. This modern world of things, you can hear it, the highway in the distance, as a reminder of that world. Where are you standing at right now in that world? What do you see? And who are you? What do you bring with you into that space? Whatever we're doing, in a mystical sense, wherever we are, wherever we're standing, I have to remind you that that is exactly where to practice. And I have to remind you because I'm reminding myself, and because in reading the old writings, I learned that I left that for myself. What are you looking at? Not just with your eyes today in this moment, but what are you looking at in an omnidirectional way? What's going on all around you in your life? That's the work. Who's in your life? That's the practice. And what is the practice? The practice is to love. not as a commandment or a rule or a law, something to be forced upon you to make you tolerant. I have to look for very real, tangible love. Yesterday, I came to the same park in the afternoon with my young son, and we were walking by a drain, which I've recorded before. And he said to me, "It's so beautiful, Dad. I love this spot. It's a concrete drainage ditch. Little water trickling, and there was some garbage," he said to me. "It would be even more beautiful if we didn't leave garbage in it. But I like sitting right here. A drainage ditch." And I would dare say that what happened in that moment, the joy I saw in his eyes, and how he became quiet, that he had a moment of mystical love in that spot, this ordinary place. I encourage the same in you. Just allow yourself to see where you're standing, really. What do you see? What are you looking at? Where are you? Can you cultivate, find that mystical love in you in the midst of everything that's in front of you? I don't know where you're at or what you're seeing. I don't know where you're standing. But can you find something that touches your tender, aching spot? If you can, sit with it. And just like what I'm seeing right now, the sun will peek from behind those clouds and enter you and warm you as a friend, because it speaks to the energy and light inside of you. It's a twinship. It's hard to understand those things, I think, without experiencing them. But yes, we have a relationship with everything that's in front of us, everything that's behind us, and everything that's all around us. A twinship. Tomorrow's Easter, and Christians around the world will celebrate the resurrection. And I don't know what you believe or what you practice, and that's okay. But Easter is in front of us, whether we practice it or not. And there is an idea that is valuable whether you're a Christian or not, and whether you accept as reality the resurrection or not. The message, universal and true, is that of change and transformation. And old things, dead things, being made into new things, bright things, illuminated things. I would encourage you this spring and this Easter to let the bones lie where they are, the old skin. Lay it down, store it away if you must, write on it, Put it in a container. Tuck it away. Allow yourself to become something new. Illuminated. Glowing and bright. And someday you can go back and touch the old bones, the old carvings, the sigils and the messages that you leave in the old skin. And you might find that the illuminated self was there, living in that identity all along. The bones get old, the skin gets old, the organs age, but the illumination, the divine twin, it's timeless. And wherever you're standing, whatever you're looking at, it's there with you. It is you. Looking out at the world with you, as you. Maybe if you're listening to this glorious sunrise with me, and these simple words I'm saying, maybe today you'll see your twin too. As always, I hope that there's something of use for you in this reflection. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all rejoice in the well-being of others. And may we all live in peace, free from greed and hatred.
Brother Oran Parker is the producer and host of the Dawn Deacon and the Find the Good News podcast. As a licensed ecumenical minister, he practices universal spiritual accompaniment, offering a brother's ear to fellow seekers. Oran provides baptism, blessing, and union ceremonies, as well as tailored rituals to memorialize special occasions or blessings to sanctify personal spaces. Brother Oran also officiates weddings and funerals. For information or to contact Oran, visit findthegood.news or email oran@oranparker.com.